and welcome everyone. Today, my guest is Ion Ciobanu from Moldova, which is currently based in Frankfurt. Before we go on, I would like to share some background facts about my guest today. So Ion graduated from the State University of Moldova, where he studied chemistry. And then he pursued his master degree at the Goethe University in Frankfurt. Currently, he is the founder of BellMeda, where the main focus is the optimization of the physical and mental performance capability of the people. This is their inspiration, this is their call. So on this high note, I want to welcome you, Ion, to our first edition of the V-Day Hour. I'm happy and grateful to have you as my first guest, and I look forward to engage with you in honest discussions about health, supplements, and also tackle some of the myths in the area of expertise, and also for our public to understand where the truth lies. Ion, over to you.
Thank you, Vika. That was a very nice introduction. You might just carry on and answer all the questions. That's great. Thank you. I'm glad to be here. Thank you for having me.
The pleasure is mine, for sure. So I think I want to know, how did you actually end up in Germany altogether? How did you decide that this is the country where you want to live and pursue your studies?
Well, I did start my studies in Moldova, but then I took the chance to study in Germany, and I applied for the masters, and I applied directly to Frankfurt. That was the city that I felt something for. After graduating, I did start right away with a job in a drugstore, and since then it led one to another, and now I'm doing supplements.
Excellent. And how did you know that entrepreneurship is your way, and how did you come up, let's say, to this path where you are right now?
I guess it started quite a long time ago, because I've seen my parents doing it, and I grew up in a family of entrepreneurs, and I guess that was something that was common for me. And since I do have my own ideas, that's a great way to do them.
So it wasn't like they pushed it, like, hey, we are entrepreneurs, you do the same.
No, that's no? It wasn't that way. It was solely my decision. I was also as a worker from 9 to 5, so I know how it is. But even if it means for me less free time, I think it's the right thing for me.
So are they your mentors? Do you get to discuss with them, things you're unsure about in terms of entrepreneurial activity?
I do. I still do that. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, it's a great help. Yeah.
And are they being strict, or are they being constructive, or how is their approach?
Well, they learn that I'm doing anything my way anyway, so I'm asking for their help, but I'm doing it my way.
Okay, that is not bad either. So then altogether, what actually motivates you to wake up every day and pursue your goals? What are the main determinants?
There are a lot of things to do, and a lot of ideas that want to be accomplished, and I always see opportunities to do stuff better. So that drives me to be able to offer a very good product.
So when is the step where you understand that this is the final, this is the end, I achieved everything very well? Are you actually a perfectionist? Like, are you always looking for finding the perfect way of doing things, or are you rather going with the flow and adjusting to the flexible environment around us?
Well, I'm trying to be both, but I'm more the perfectionist type of person. Yeah, that's what.
Isn't that hard?
It is, and that's holding me back. Yeah, in many things, but well, because it takes its time, but it has also some good things about it.
Hmm. And in your path, in your entrepreneurial path currently, what were the main challenges that you faced, and how did you overcome them?
Well, to start as a foreigner in Germany, it's not that easy. I guess it's not about the bureaucracy, but it's about self-esteem. It's about trusting yourself, and I guess that drives me even more to do and to be able to do good stuff. To offer good products. That's driving my expectations higher.
Any other challenges? Because you work probably with mainly German people, right? I would expect.
Yeah, but despite the things people say about Germans, I find them very hospitable, and I have lots of friends, and they're all great, and I feel comfortable here. So I did not have any challenges with that. No, I get a lot of help and support, so that's great.
So as a Moldovan person, what do you think are the stereotypes that Moldovans have about Germans, which are probably not true, or are? I don't know. Can you shed some light here?
Yeah, the main is probably that they're cold and that they're not friendly, but that's not true. give them a cup of beer, or and then you'll find the right nature of them.
It seems like beer is connecting nations all over the place, not only in Germany.
Yeah, that's true. Beer, wine, anything.
But yeah, beer is also, the legacy of Czech Republic, right? So I guess Germany and Czech Republic with the beer are standing very well.
Yeah, they get along well. Yeah.
Okay, very nice. Thanks for that. So, now that we introduced ourselves, and as I said, I'm happy to have you as my first guest, I would like to deep dive into a topic which has a lot of emphasis, but sometimes we just kind of think of it as a fact. We don't really deep dive into what does it mean and how we can look at it from a medical and physical point of view. So I want to talk about sleep a bit more, because sleep is vital along with water and food. So in your professional opinion, why is sleep so important for the human, and what are its benefits?
Well, Mika, you surely heard about sympathetic and parasympathetic, or you call them the fight or flight, or the rest and digest types. And during the day, we're always in stress, and we're working, we're thinking, we're socializing, and so on. And we're always in the sympathetic modus. But at night, we should definitely get into the parasympathetic modus, and where we should rest and digest. Yeah, we actually should digest and rest over the day, or during the day when we have our breaks. But I don't know how others are doing it, but I'm quite stressed even when I'm eating. Yeah, you just have to do it on the trip in the car. I don't know. That's the usual way of life for many of people. Right? So sleep is our way to relax and rebuild ourselves, to build our tissues, bones, and so on. So a good sleep is very important. Yeah, and your immune system will be more active and more agile. Your ability to think, to process things, to work, socialize, they are all related to a good sleep.
But everybody knows that in theory, right? We all know that we need the rest. We all know we need the sleep. But how can we tell our brain, or what are the ways to tell our brain to actually take time for that sleep, take time for that lunch break, and so on, right? Is there any way that we can do that and really stick to these habits?
Well, that's a difficult question. I guess you should have discipline. It's like any other things. If you say I should concentrate myself on the work now, then you should also do that or take that decision when you are trying to relax and you say, okay, now it's my break. Now it's time to have a break, and I am going to relax and put aside all of the other things and not trying to solve some problems while you're eating. So that's like a decision, and that's discipline as well.
So
And
discipline.
and sleep is a part of it. You should discipline yourself to get a good sleep and have yeah.
And the ways to do that, like specific steps?
Sure. Well, there are a lot of ways to do that. Probably each of us knows best, but you can listen before going to bed. You can listen to some music, some relaxing music. You can read a book. You can have a walk in the park. You can avoid bright light and solving problems. But you should definitely not watch TV.
Stay on the
phone, or often doing some workouts is also not a good idea. Yeah, because this pushes you up.
Okay. Yeah, workouts before bed is not good. Yeah, I would expect so. Otherwise, your heartbeat starts pumping, and like, okay, I can't sleep now. It's good for my body, but I can't sleep.
Yeah.
Okay, if we look at the less positive part, so what happens when our bodies have sleep deficiencies?
Well, yeah, as I've said, our body regenerates during the sleep, so and it releases growth hormones for the repair and growth itself. Well, you can expect that you can get some chronic diseases, chronic fatigue, and your life will not be balanced anymore. That's for sure. Yeah, many of your life aspects can have some troubles.
How can we raise awareness within ourselves to not get to that stage? Are there any signs that we can follow in our body that let us know, like, hey, you need to slow down, you need to take care of you? Like, can we actually raise this awareness within ourselves?
Yeah, sure. I guess everybody knows that, but we simply ignore them. We simply ignore them because we are adapting to this fast-going world, and we forget to step down or step aside and look at it. Yeah, because we're too stressed. We're like in a hamster's wheel. Yeah, but your body tells you always, if you get a cold, that's a sign that you are overstressed. Yeah, that you need a rest. You need less stress. Yeah, if you're sleepy during the day, that's nothing new. But we do ignore this science, and we push it further. We say, yeah, but we also have to, or we also want to meet our friends after work, even though we're tired. And so that's what happens.
I actually have a few things in mind that popped up now. So is it actually healthy to sleep during the day? And if so, how long it's beneficial?
Well, anything. I'd love to do it. I'd do it anytime I'd have the chance. I guess anything between 10 and 30 minutes would be sufficient if you get a good sleep during the day. Yeah. Yeah, that's
Is it
true.
important to be deep or like not very deep, just to kind of really fall asleep, or it doesn't matter?
Well, a nap is already a quite deep state of sleep. I guess it should be deep, otherwise you are not getting all the beneficial
Mm-hmm.
things.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And then the second question that popped up is, what is better, to sleep during the night or during the day, or it doesn't really matter, right? When
Mm.
is the best for the body to sleep in 24 hours?
No, well, I guess the science is uh, quite strong about it. We should sleep at night, and the people that work at night, they do get problems all the time. Yeah. It's not about the nap during the day, but it's about getting your full time sleep during the night. Yeah, that are the best hours. It's also related to less noise, less light, and so on.
So altogether, sleep at night.
Yes.
And the length, is it true that it should be minimum 8 hours, or it really depends human to human?
Also, in this case as well, the science says a healthy adult needs about 8 to 9 hours per night. Yeah, that's true. I'm sure there are people who need less, but probably they have a very balanced work-life uh, life. So yeah, that could be. If you're not too stressed of the day, then you're also are not using up so much energy of your body.
Yeah. Yeah, makes sense. And then what products or what supplements are there on the market currently that we can use to improve our sleep or just to ensure a healthy, good sleep?
Mm. Yeah, well, sleep became a real luxury for many people. So everybody needs it, but not everybody gets it. So that's why there are a lot of products um, assessing this problem. There are a handful of drugs, prescription drugs, but I wouldn't get into that because the long-term effects are not that good. For a short time, it's probably okay if your doctor thinks that. But there are also a lot of natural products, and most of them are based on the extract of Belgian roots. But my favorite is melatonin. It's a natural hormone produced by our pineal gland in the brain. So it helps in very many cases.
And it's available without prescription.
Yeah, in low doses. Yeah.
Cool. Good to know. Okay. I would like now to continue with some of the myths and facts about sleep. So I would like you to maybe shed some light into them and maybe share some scientific facts behind it, or simply an expert view towards some of them, let's say, the phrases that we have been hearing all over the place, right?
Sure.
So first one would be, how long you sleep is all that matters. Is that true or false?
Well, not really. As I've said, it's about the length, but also about the sleep quality. So you have two phases in your sleep each night. It's the REM, rapid eye movement, and the non-REM. Both of them, you have like 4 cycles of them every night, and you need both of them. And there are studies showing that without a good REM phase, you are not able to learn well, and without a good non-REM phase, you are not able to rest your body. Yeah, so you need both of them, and for that, it's good when you're relaxed and when you have the ambience for that. Yeah.
Okay, so there are components which needs to kind of be considered.
Yeah.
And then is it true that adults sleep more with age?
No, actually, the opposite is true. Elderly sleep less, although they would need the same amount of sleep as when they were young. So it's just the bad quality of sleep that they have, but it's not that they need less.
So what is influencing our body to sleep less when we are older or when we get older?
Probably that's also a myth. Well, maybe elderly have the chance to sleep during the day more, and that's why they complain that they sleep at night less. I don't know, but I'm not
There's
sure.
There's no scientific reason behind it, right?
Not that I would know of. Yeah.
Okay.
Mhm.
Okay. And it's said that alcohol before bed improves the sleep.
Well, I would say that that's not true because although alcohol does have some sedative effects and it induces relaxation, yeah, and sleepiness, the studies show that you have a shorter and poorer sleep quality. Yeah. So if it's a glass of wine, maybe you will not feel
it will not hurt.
It will. You wouldn't feel it, but if it's in excess, definitely.
So altogether, don't drink before going to bed.
Sure.
All right, and then, for example, health issues, right? Like obesity, diabetes, hypertension, depression, have no relation to the amount and quality of a person's sleep. Can you please elaborate on that?
Well, I'm sure that a few years ago, many would discard this opinion, but nowadays everybody understands how important sleep is and what are the long-term effects of it. The problem is probably that not all doctors have the scientific proof for that, and that's why they are still prescribing medicines or are not doing are not finding the relationship between those.
And that's something that I heard, which is super funny, and we hope that you will clarify this for us. Basically, it's said that eating cheese causes nightmares. How true is that? Eating cheese before bed.
Well, I know of none study that was pursuing that, but well, cheese is quite fatty, and I guess you could have some nightmares because of indigestion. Yeah, because if you feel bad, then you get higher risk of getting nightmares.
Yeah.
But actually, it might be that the opposite is true because cheese contains tryptophan. That's a amino acid that is a precursor of serotonin, and serotonin is our happy molecule. It's the hormone that makes us happy, and out of serotonin, melatonin is produced. So actually, you should get a better sleep. Yeah.
You see? Thanks for clarifying this for us. Now we know.
Just and then the last too much so that you get an indigestion.
All right. And then I will finish this section with a funny phrase as well that we've been hearing a lot around, that counting sheep makes you fall asleep.
Well, it does definitely. For me, it helps. I guess it helps to make a cut to all of their bad thoughts or processing your day, and that wouldn't allow you to fall asleep. And and in this way it would definitely help you.
Hmm. Thank you. It was great to talk about the sleep and its importance, and we all need to be aware that this is an important part of our day-to-day life, and we need to really pay attention to ensure that our body gets the proper rest.
Yeah, sure, definitely.
Yeah, and with that being said, I would like to move on to our next topic, which is about detox. And this is a headline we've been hearing all over the place. A lot of people are doing this detox because of various reasons. So I want to tackle this topic a bit more to understand what it actually means. What does it do to the body, and also understand some of the facts, whether they are true or not. So. Basically, can you explain what a detox mean, and does it actually have a benefit on our bodies?
Well, first of all, I'd say that detox made it into the headlines of like magazines a few decades ago, and it should probably be only a term used by health practitioners. Yeah, that would be ideally the way of it. But the problem is that you need a detox when you are when you have an acute or long-term intoxication. That could be the case of some heavy metals or some chemical products. Yeah. The problem is that, and in that case, you definitely need a detox. Yeah. But the problem is that nowadays we make poor choices and of selecting food, and we have bad habits of putting food on our plates. So that's why it made it so popular, because these choices are having a toll on our body, and that's why we do need to detox nowadays.
Is there any beneficial frequency that we need to do it? So if you take 1 year of our life, what is the frequency of doing a detox throughout the year? Like a few times per year, only once per year sufficient, and it really depends on your body and health.
Well, I'm more of a fan of prevention than treatment. So I'd say think about your choices every day, so that you would never have to detox, because your body does it naturally. And I think that's the more wise and the more wise approach, and the most responsible approach for your body. I'd say think of, I'm having a healthy lifestyle, and I do make some exceptions when I want to eat a pizza. Yeah. But
pizza is good.
yeah, sure. But not otherwise. It's not like I'm having a lot of pizzas whenever I want, and once a year I'm doing a detox. That's. I think we should change this conception.
So what you're saying is that our body is able to detox itself if we're giving them the right incentives and the right, let's say, environment to do that?
Yeah, definitely. Well, it can handle a lot of toxins. It can easily process everything that, well, I wouldn't generalize, but many of the toxins that are known to be natural occurring in food, so our body can handle that. It's more difficult with chemicals and drugs and pesticides and so on. Yeah, that's the more difficult part, but there are some tools to aid it.
And the things that you're mentioning right now are mainly contained in food, in like veggies or something in particular?
Sure, but not only veggies, animal products, but as well water and the air we breathe.
It also contributes, right? It's like a symbiosis of all these
Sure.
components.
Yeah.
So then coming back to my question, so then it depends, or then so it's better to prevent. But then if we didn't prevent, right? So because as again, we're stressed, we don't sleep enough, we tend to exhaust our bodies until the last minute. And then we basically understand that we need a detox. So then would you recommend doing it on our own, or probably go to some specialist to understand what is most appropriate for us?
Well, I'm sure your body tells you how often you should do it, because depending on your lifestyle, you can decide whether you want to do it once a year, twice a year, or once a month. Yeah. Anything can be great, and any detox will be met with great pleasure by your body. Yeah? So your body will be thankful and happy for you doing that. But as you've said, it's probably important to read about it, and to ask somebody that practices it. Yeah, so a health practitioner, or some online resources that are helping you, can help you with that.
And are there any prevention methods that we all can use so that we help our body detox on a regular basis?
I guess the most important would be water, fresh, good quality water.
So 2 liters, or that's a myth?
I guess that's a good reference, but in summer it might be more, in winter it might be less, and depending on your eating habits. If you eat a lot of vegetables and fruits, then you need less water, because they're consisting about of 90% water. So it depends, but yeah, you need water in yeah.
So can we actually substitute water with tea, or it's actually important to drink water, not anything else?
I guess both are good. There are teas that are good for detox. There are a lot of them. Yeah, so that might be as well as a very good idea. Yeah.
Excellent. So I understood about the detox, but are there any contraindications or something that we need to be mindful when we want to do it on our own, or when we feel like our body needs it?
Well, yeah, it depends. You might, if you're trying to change your diet, then you might consider organic foods. You might consider reducing on animal products. And if you want to have some supplements, you may do that as well. Just make sure that they are of good quality, and make some research, and try to compare the information on different sites about the components of the product. And don't think always about getting bad stuff out of your body, but also by putting good stuff into your body. So
what are the good stuff we can put into our body? That's what we are interested in.
Yeah. Well, if we talk about food, that's our main focus. Choose foods rich in nutrients and not rich in calories. So don't count your calories, but count your nutrients, vitamins, minerals, and phytochemicals like carotenoids or bioflavonoids and so on. And if you're considering supplements, then choose some plant extracts that could aid the elimination, but also the processing of your food and
Would you recommend buying the supplements in pharmacies or in simple drugstores like DM or Rossmann? It's still fine.
Mm-hmm. Well, I guess you can find good products in both, and a product in a drugstore not always guarantees for a good product, but the chances are higher, I guess. Yeah.
How can a normal person, without having much expertise in it, when he looks at the envelope of a supplement, how can he understand that this is a good product and what he needs to pay attention to?
Well, I think the most important thing would be to look at the active ingredients and at the excipients. So if you see some ingredients that are not related to the active ingredients, then you should avoid that product. You are looking for a product that contains only active ingredients, so only from the stuff that you need, plant extracts. If you have colorants, if you have silica, silicon dioxide, or you have different filling materials, you should avoid those products.
All right. Thank you. Thank you for the tips. And now I would like you to shed some light into some of the things we've been hearing about detox. So one thing that is going around is that the fact that detox can actually restore health. Can such a activity really restore health and make you feel better?
Yeah, I'd say that's quite true, because you are just giving your body the chance to do its job. You know, if you're stressed, then your bodily functions cannot work properly. Yeah? So stress can be also poor choices of food or supplements. So it means that your body is working harder to process these things. Yeah. So that's why a detox could help you restore your health. That's also a very important thing if you are intoxicated with heavy metals. Heavy metals play a very important role in your health, and you should avoid foods rich in them. Unfortunately, that's very true nowadays for fish products. They are heavily toxic. Yeah, and that's a pity, because fish is such a great product, but
exactly.
it's not sustainable anymore, and that's a big problem.
And then, of course, if you want to buy a fish which is a better quality, you have to pay a lot of money.
Yeah,
right?
That's true. Yeah, but you save probably on some on many years of poor health.
You see? So then you have to really assess it like multidimensionally to really understand what's more important, to give more money for some good product or just like suffer later.
Yeah, exactly. So let your food be your medicine.
That's very well said. Would you say that overall detoxing is safe?
No, I guess not. People make a lot of mistakes, which is fine. They learn by doing it, but I think it's still a great thing to start and doing it, because your consciousness is developing. So I guess if you have no idea about it, then start a small research in internet, and then ask your health practitioner. Many of them are not that informed about this topic. Nonetheless, you could just have his or her opinion.
So my understanding is rather make a proper research, go talk to a health practitioner that is expert in this, rather than doing something on your own.
Yeah, yeah, I guess so. But it's always your responsibility.
Yeah.
I really love to tell that to all our clients. It's always your responsibility, and please take the responsibility about your health. Yeah, I will always try to give you good advice about all the products that we are producing, and about products that we are not producing. I'm always telling our clients they should ask me anything, and I'll try to give them an honest response if I know something about that.
Thank you. And the last thing that I would like you to clarify for us. Is it true that weight loss from detox is sustainable in long term?
I guess it is. I guess it is because it a detox. As I've said, it can also release many of the toxins that have been stored in your body, and many of them are fat soluble. So once you get your toxins out of your fat with a part of that you are trying to lose, then you are definitely having better chances to sustain that weight.
You will sustain it as long as you don't come back to the old habits.
Yeah, sure, yeah, as well, yeah.
Right. And would you agree like that? Because sometimes our body needs some of the junk stuff, right? It's just our nature to really want something some goodies here and there. So do you find sustainable to have, let's say, a conscious approach towards your diet, towards your well-being, but then sometimes have these junkies in the meantime to kind of make yourself feel better? Is that an approach that can work for people?
I guess so, but I'm quite strict about it because I'd say if you're craving for some junk food, then you're actually craving for some attention, maybe, or for some love, or maybe you're stressed. You know? So just try to think about who is craving what. Is it your body craving for junk food, or is it your soul craving for something? Yeah.
That's a very philosophical note here. I like
Well,
that.
yeah, that's true. You know, we often look into wrong places. Yeah. So, but if you don't want to take that approach, then my advice would be make sure to have maybe some healthier stuff around you when you get these cravings. So next time, don't buy that chocolate, but buy something with less sugar, and it you won't have any other choice. Yeah, so you'll have to eat that, and that will be better. Yeah.
Better. Okay, anyways, I think we all took something from this last thought of yours to consider, tonight. Great, thank you so much. And this was excellent because, as I said, this topic has been going on a lot, and there is like a flow of information about it. So it was good to discuss it and understand a bit more. And with that,
yeah, I can imagine that it was quite general, but it is a very wide topic. So, and there are thousands of methods of doing it, of detoxing, and ways of balancing your body. I'm sure we can go into details some another time.
Exactly, which means you have to be invited again. So you have to accept the invite again to come and discuss it further on maybe a particular aspect that we're touching upon today. I'll be happy.
Great.
Okay, and now we're slowly moving to the next topic that I would like to tackle today with you, and that's related to supplements. Also during COVID times, the pandemics we're currently facing. So I want to start general, and I want to understand what are the benefits of the supplements to our body. Like, are they actually needed for our body, or the body can do its job by itself, and how well they are assimilated?
Well, I guess most of us nowadays need supplements, and well, you should think about dietary supplements as dietary supplements. That's what it is. It's a supplement to your diet. Yeah. So
Okay.
that's food. That's actually food, but in a very concentrated form. Yeah, in a capsule or a tablet. Um, so it might be that you need more of that, and they will be processed by our bodies like food in most of the time. Um, depending on what it is that you are supplementing with. But we're talking here about most of the times about minerals, vitamins, and phytochemicals or plant extracts. Yeah, that constitutes most of the supplements, like 80%. Yeah. So our body generally can absorb them very well, but there are differences when we talk about minerals and vitamins, because some of them are in a more natural form than the others. When I say that is, I mean like we hear a lot of times the term bioavailability. So it means that uh, um, our body can process it readily and rapidly and easily if it's bioavailable, and if it's not bioavailable, it is like it would be to get some iron from a piece of iron bar. Like it wouldn't do us any good. We should have ionized iron or ionized calcium and so on.
So even though the supplements are created in laboratories, they should still help our body. They should still provide the body everything it needs in order to function well, right?
Sure, sure. That's the purpose of these supplements, and just to aid to maybe to catch up on some deficiencies. Because, if you would ask me, as a supplements manufacturer and producer, and I would always say try to do that by getting more food that contains that particular um, mineral or vitamin or phytochemical, but it's often the case that you are not able to do that. Yeah, it's like I would say magnesium is contained in chocolate, but then you would say, yeah, I'm eating lots of chocolate, and I'm saying, then you do, but you are eating chocolate with a lot of sugar in it. Or you should eat cacao, and you'd say, but it's bitter, and I say, yeah, but you need 1 kilo of that. So and it's often not possible to do that, and that's why we have like free capsules, and you get a lot of the micronutrient that you need, that your body needs, and when it's replenished, then you can go and start having a balanced diet again.
Yeah. So talking about, these nutrients and supplements. So is there a checklist we need to kind of all consider when we're looking at buying supplements? Like, what are the most important ones we always have to include in our day-to-day lives?
Mm-hmm. Well, there are a lot of clinical studies on different vitamins and minerals and phytochemicals, and it's impossible to do it all right. Yeah. But I guess there are some supplements which are very important, and if we're talking about vitamin C, if we're talking about magnesium, because many people have deficiencies in that. If we talk about omega-3s from fish, yeah, because we are not ingesting enough amounts of that, and if you are making some cuts in foods because of sustainability. Maybe you're vegan, then you should consider B12. So there are a lot of things to consider. But I guess we can reduce them to 4 or 5 products.
Basic.
That will be important. Yeah.
But I would still assume that you would have to talk to a health practitioner to really ensure that you're covering everything related to the needs of your body, right?
Mm-hmm. There are a lot of cases when for example, when I could tell you with high precision that you are deficient in one product based on what your health diet is, or based on the prescription drugs that you're taking. Yeah. But I think it is a very good idea to make some tests and see what the laboratories give you for analysis if you have any deficiencies. And when you know which they are, then you can supplement. Yeah. Then, yeah.
Okay. That's cool. And then, for example, now we are in pandemics, right? We are in heavy COVID times. And are there any particular supplements that we can all consider during these times to strengthen our body, our immunity?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Well, I'd say that these are the same we need all the time. It's really that because you know, if I'd say there are like 10 different clinical studies searching for the best phytochemicals or vitamins and minerals helping to fight COVID, we would be overwhelmed. And but as it happens, and this is really a great thing, they all tell us that there are 5 main products that we definitely need. And we are often deficient in that, and maybe that's why many of us suffer from viral infection, but also bacterial infections. And so I'd say one of the most cheapest and easiest ways to boost your immune system would be to take vitamin D. And I know everybody knows, well, would tell me, yeah, but I get enough vitamin D from the sun. I'm taking like long walks, and that's simply not true, because this is a belief that is not corresponding anymore to the lifestyle we are having now. It's a mindset that we took over, but it's not right, because there is a study showing on 55,000 of Europeans that 80% of them have less than optimal vitamin D status. So it's like not even 20% are in the right optimal vitamin D status range, and that's a fact. You know, you can tell me anything you want, but if you are part of the 80%, then you should definitely supplement, and you should definitely supplement also in summer, even though you might get enough sun, but you are actually not. Because if you are like me, I'm 90% of the time in the office. So it's impossible for me to take my vitamin D every day. Yeah. And many people use sun protective creams. Yeah. So that's we should definitely be very conscious about that, and that's a very cheap test. You can do it, and you can check your status. Yeah. Another important vitamin would be vitamin C. It's a pity, but the food we consume nowadays, it's quite low in vitamin C because the fruits and vegetables are not ripe. So we think we are getting the right vitamins, but we are not. Yeah, so we can supplement with vitamin C, and a good idea would be if it's combined with some bioflavonoids, whether it's from citrus fruits or whether it's quercetin and so on. Yeah. And of course, very important would be zinc and selenium. Both are extremely important for our immune system. Our immune system wouldn't be able to work without them. And vitamin C, they are all acting as antioxidants as well, and they are absolutely necessary for boosting our immune system. And again, omega-3s, whether it's from fish oil, algae oil, or linseed oil. It doesn't matter. There are also vegan alternatives. So do that, because you need that for the cell repair, and you need that for building your immune system cells and so on, and hormones, different hormones, to have a appropriate response to the infections. Well, these are the main things, and it's not that much. I guess these 4 or 5 products would be the most basic things that you could do.
So my intake from what you're saying is that no matter what we eat, although we think we eat well, we always have to back up our bodies with supplements. Right?
I guess so. I mean, it's very difficult to get everything you need from the food you ingest nowadays. That's the problem. It's very difficult.
Okay, so now I need the facts. Has this been proven scientifically? Are there any studies confirming what you're saying?
Yeah.
How can we know that you're telling us the right thing?
Yeah. There are a lot of studies, Vika. There are a lot of studies, and I guess before I'll tell something about one study, a study on vitamin D. I think it's a good idea if we'll place some links under the video, and so that our guests, followers, could check it on their own. There was a retrospective clinical study on vitamin D in Manchester, UK, and it came in the fall of last year. So it's a recent study, and they showed that supplementation with vitamin D during infection with COVID in elderly would reduce the mortality up to 50%.
Wow.
So I'd say there's nothing else that could be more appropriate than taking vitamin D, and it's very cheap. It's very easy to take. So I don't see any reason why not doing it, and getting your chances to survive.
So although they are necessary, they also have to be of a very good quality, right? We have to invest in good supplements that will actually benefit our bodies.
Yeah, sure. I guess the companies which are producing supplements without any additional like colorants and filling materials, they are already offering good products. Then you should as well trust that company, that they are using high quality ingredients. Yeah, but it's definitely the case that you should pay a bit more for better quality.
Because the reason I'm asking is that there are so many companies producing these supplements, and how does a normal person understand what is actually better and what supplements are actually more natural, or all these criteria that we need to consider? Would you give us like a few tips on understanding that when we want to select various supplements for ourselves?
Well, you're right. It's very difficult nowadays, and well, in my experience, because I'm a consumer as well. And even though most of the products I'm taking from our company, because I know that the quality is right. I'm looking at what supplements are prescribed by health practitioners, because many of them have lots of experience, and they can tell you that it's working, that it's a good quality, because they see it on their patients. Yeah. So I trust the health practitioners that I work with. I trust our products. I trust some companies that are lots of years on the market. 30, 50 years. There are some such companies, yeah. And nonetheless, we have products which date back 15 years ago, but we are really catching up and taking great efforts to offer the same quality as companies with 50 years of experience. So, but I've said it, and I'm gonna say it again. The less excipients, the better. You should look for standardized extracts, and you should look for good combinations and very good bioavailability.
Right.
Most of the times, most of the products that I see in DM or Rossmann, I'm not sure about the Czech Republic, but yeah, the cheap products I would never take. I would never take the cheap products that are sold there.
Because you just don't trust the ingredients, or?
Because they have a lot of excipients. They have a lot of colorants. They have a lot of unnecessary ingredients that are only for the important for the production of the capsules or tablets, and making it easier and cheaper. And you do not use any of them. So that's why they are more expensive, because we have a lot of more hard time producing them.
So quality comes with a price, right?
Yeah, unfortunately.
But also, it's like an investment. You're investing into your health, and you should not consider this as as like a big waste of money, for sure. It's about the mindset.
It pays off. Yeah.
Nice. I would love to talk to you about it more, but I guess we'll have to do another meeting, just on the supplements and its benefits. So I would like to move on to the part where we are discovering the false part or the true part of a certain thing that we kind of circulates around. So let's go for it. So more supplements is always better. What do you think?
No, definitely not. Definitely not. If you're not doing any blood tests, then look at how your body responds to the supplements, and if you feel better, then you might reduce, and start low if you're not sure.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you for shedding some light. It is true that you can take supplements along normal medicines, or there are some situations where it's not appropriate.
In most cases, it's never a problem. You might ask your health practitioner, but very often you definitely need to take some supplements if you're taking some medicine. Yeah, so, but that's very individual. So I guess it would be a good idea to ask the health practitioner, and if not, you might address us, because that's a topic that it interests me, particularly because many people get side effects and long-term damages by taking medicine, and it's very easy to correct that, but they just simply don't know that. So that would be a good idea to inform the patients and the people taking medications. That is as important as taking the medication itself.
Yeah. Okay. Noted. And then taking supplements of vitamin D can prevent cancer.
Well, there are a lot of studies that are showing such a correlation, but I'd say I wouldn't make such a statement because that's a very bold statement. But I would say a healthy way of style should prevent any health issues, and vitamin D is part of a healthy lifestyle, because generally you could take it outside, from the sun. So I guess that would be true.
Okay. And then the final question would be, different brands of the same supplement are the same.
Well, that's not true. I guess we talked about it quite a lot. No,
Yes.
there are big differences in the quality of the ingredient itself, and the manufacturing, processing, and so on. So, and the excipients, there are very big differences. Yeah.
Excellent. So if to kind of put some bullet points from this discussion, then basically my understanding is that we all need supplements, or at least the body would really appreciate external help in terms of good quality supplements. And if you're unsure, check with your health practitioner or with an expert in order to understand, what suits you best.
Yeah.
Try, but because it's important to make the proper research before it, not just randomly take supplements, right?
Yeah.
So, and basically COVID supplements or non-COVID supplements, they're basically the same. Our body just needs to strengthen its immunity and to function well. So the intakes that we would take normally are appropriate also COVID times.
Yeah.
In COVID.
You have an innate immune system, and just let it do its job, and give it the right nutrients to work properly. That's all. It's not about COVID itself. It's about all of the viral infections and bacterial. So that's a good way of protecting yourself in any cases.
It's like we discussed so many things today, and it all seems kind of clear in theory, right? We need to do this, we need to do that. But then when it comes to the practical part, somehow it tends to get a bit more difficult.
Yeah, well, that's discipline. But once you realize the importance of each nutrient, I guess you integrate it much easier. Yeah. And at the beginning you might be overwhelmed, but with time you read a lot of information about it. You know how to handle it, how much you need it. So it definitely gets easier. Yeah, and it doesn't mean that you need all the supplements of all your whole life. So maybe it's just a phase now that you need one more than the other, and you can always reduce some of them and just see how you're doing. So yeah, I guess it's not that bad. It should definitely make be a part of our day-to-day life.
Day-to-day habits, let's say, right?
Day-to-day,
Consider that. Yeah.
that's true. Yeah. So you have your food, you have your plate, and you have your supplements.
And you're good to go. All right. I mean, imagine it's been already 1 hour since we are engaging into these great discussions, and I would love to talk more to you, but for this session, we'll have to put an end here. Would you like to say a few words at the end of our talk? Any tips? Any ideas? Any encouraging notes?
Mm-hmm. Well, listen to your gut feeling. and yeah, because that's very important, I guess. Yeah, just take the time and listen to your body, and listen to what it needs, and look at the right place.
Yeah, everywhere, right? In all aspects of life, not only health related. All right, I want to thank you so much for your time today. I really enjoyed our discussion, and I took some notes to consider and to think about for tonight. I wish you all the best in your business, in promoting the good things that you're doing. So I hope to talk to you again, and on some other interesting topic.
Thank
very
you.
soon.
Great being here. Bye.
Okay, take care. Bye-bye.
Bye.